If you're low-key getting the ick from one of your friends, let me tell you, that does not come for no reason. It usually always is your intuition telling you that you should probably leave. And if it wasn't true, then you wouldn't have even thought about the fact that you might have to leave them. And today I'm going to be teaching with you how you can remove toxic friends and friends that no longer serve you from your life easily without any pain, and then replace them with positive friends that are like-minded, that support you, that love you. Like whenever I make someone leave my life, I am just so happy because I now know that I have freed up more space for more people to come into my life, for people that fit me, for people that bring the best version out of me. Now, first things first, it's not like you should cut off every single person out of your life whenever there's a minor inconvenience. On social media and the whole pop culture philosophy and pop culture psychology, they tell you you don't owe anyone anything and you should just cut off people and only focus on self-care and just being by yourself in solitude and loneliness. But let me tell you, that is exactly what it leads to. It leads to loneliness. Nowadays, we live in a society that focuses so much on being just by yourself and taking care of yourself, while forgetting that it's way more important to take care of your relationships than just taking care of yourself. And I'm here to tell you that you can totally remove toxic people from your life, and you have the right to do so, but you need to watch out to not just by any minor inconvenience be like, oh, goodbye, I'm not ever going to talk to you again. That is not how it works. So to determine whether you should leave or not, you need to first of all understand the key principles of friendship. Those are very important for you to understand. Now, the first thing on the list is respect. You want someone to respect you. You want someone to understand you and respect your opinions and accept you as you are, because oftentimes there are people who just simply can't respect other people's opinions. They can't respect what you do. They can't respect anything. So it's really important, because respect is the foundation of a healthy friendship and relationship. Next thing is something that's very dear to me, and that is self-honesty. I could have said just honesty, but no, it's important to have self-honesty. Like, for example, if I tell a friend that they screwed up and they did some bad shit and they can't even admit it to themselves, or they are dating a toxic partner and I tell them that person is toxic, they are not good for you, and they don't understand it and they just lie to themselves, that is a red flag to me. So you need to understand what these principles are that you want your friends to have. And self-honesty is one of the most important ones. They have to be honest to themselves in order to be honest to you. I once had a friend who always lied to herself, basically, because she couldn't accept some certain things and she always was living in delusion, and that is something I cannot live with, and it has always been a key principle of mine to understand that I need someone in my life who is honest to themselves and therefore then also honest to me. Next thing on the list is support. You need to support each other. It's not just like you need one person who supports everything or then the other person who supports, but it needs to be a giving and receiving. So there has to be a sense of support coming from you, but also a sense of support coming from them. Like, if that's not there, that also is another sign that it might not be a good friendship and you might have some things to work on, or you need to cut them out of your life if that is not possible. Like, if you're ever feeling a little blue, you need people to support you, to tell you that you're good, and they need to actually give you emotional, physical, and support on all levels, because that is what friends are for. And if they do not have that, then it's not a good friendship. Next thing is emotional maturity, and this ties directly with the fact that people are honest to themselves. If a person is emotionally immature, you can't talk to them. You can talk to them and say, you screwed up, I learned like this is how things are going, and they're just not going to be able to admit it. They're going to think that, oh, this isn't the way it goes and I need to be like that and that, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, you need to find someone who's emotionally mature. You need to look at all of your friends and see, are they emotionally mature? Do they fit me? Is that even a person I can actually decently talk to? Can I have deep talks with them? Or is it just some superficial gossip friendship that is not based on anything mature and lovely? Another thing is they have to be available. You need to look at your own principles of friendship and determine whether you're a person who needs high maintenance or low maintenance friendships. I'm someone who needs high maintenance. I want to see them. I want them to be available when I need them. I want to see them every week or every second week, not just like, oh, once every third month. That's not the way it goes for me. And it's different for every single person. That is perfectly fine. Now, if you have a friend who just completely does not resonate with the things that you say and you just don't get along, then that is also another sign that maybe it's time for you to leave. And also, they have to be able to celebrate your wins. If you get some cool promotion on work and they're not able to be happy for you, they're not your friends. Or if you get viral overnight and things are just going super well and they don't support your social media and they think, oh, that's weird, that's cringe, they are not your friends. Or if you have a good grade at school or in university and they think, oh, that's not cool, then they are not friends. They're probably jealous, or they just are not happy for you because they can't be happy with themselves. What I want you to understand is that friends need to be there for one another, they need to love each other, and they essentially need to be happy for one another. And if your friend can't be happy for you, they are not your friend. Sorry to break it to you. Now, probably the most important and pivotal sign that there is that you should leave your friend is if you get an intuitive calling. You just feel like, I don't think that this is good anymore. So let me tell you about a story of mine. I once was at a friend's house, right? He invited me over. I was super excited to go there. We haven't seen each other for a little bit of time, and it's been some time, right? And I got there. I was really happy to see him. He got home from a long day of work. First thing I noticed when I enter his apartment, I'm like, this is not clean. I of course did not say it, but to me, it is a sign of disrespect if I come to your place and I see that your apartment is not clean. I mean, you can at least clean your apartment up for me. And I know that maybe he doesn't have the capacities or he was exhausted or whatever, but to me, it is a sign of respect if someone at least takes the time or gets someone to clean up their shit for me. And they did not do that. So next thing that happened was we were just lying in bed and he was watching reels the entire time, literally not doing anything. I was like, why are we not doing anything? Why are you inviting me over? If we are not actually doing something nice, if we're not going outside, if we're not getting coffee, if we're not talking, what's the whole point of even being together then? And he just couldn't understand my frustration as I explained to him that a friendship is about doing some nice things together. It's about uplifting one another. And to him, it seemed to have just been about hanging out while talking about stupid things and showing brain rot memes to one another, which is not something that friendship is about for me. I want high value, I want good friendships. He might have just been a different person. So I was just like, okay, we're either gonna do something, we're gonna go outside, we're gonna do some nice things together, talk and actually have conversations, or I'm gonna go. I was very direct, but I was trying to be nice and just explain to him my situation. Again, he didn't quite understand that, which is okay because people have different perspectives. But what I did then, I went outside. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go for a walk right now. I am not someone who can sit the entire day. I just want to go for a walk real quick, clear my head, come back, and then see if we can maybe then do some shit together. And it was nighttime during that time. It was probably even a full moon or something. I could see the stars. It was very beautiful. I was walking through a park on the field, and I just got a calling. Like, it was my intuition sort of, or the universe, God, telling me you should leave him. I was like, what even is the whole point of this friendship at this point? We don't do nice things together. We don't ever see each other. It's not really a high value friendship anymore that actually brings the best version out of me. I do not feel good around him anymore. I feel shitty when I am around him, and it feels as if I am wasting my time. And as I noticed all of these things, I knew, I've got to leave him, or I've got to distance myself a little from him. So I just was like, universe, give me some new fucking friends. I don't want to be with this guy anymore. And during that time, honestly, I wasn't really happy with my friendships anyway. It just felt like I didn't have enough friends. My friends were not there for me. Things were not going well. So I told the universe, as big and as straight as possible, I was just like, universe, give me some new fucking friends. So that's what then happened afterwards. So when I got back to his place, I was like, okay, you don't want to do anything with me. I'm gonna go. I'm literally just gonna pack my things. And although it was supposed to be a sleepover, I went home and we didn't see each other ever since. So I don't know what it was, but that was just the point for me when I realized that maybe we don't fit together anymore. I just feel like I am wasting my time, and I wish him the best. So I want you to understand through this whole story is that if you feel an inner calling that this isn't someone who should be in your life at this point, listen to your inner voice. Always listen to your intuition, to your gut feeling. It literally is God. And after that, I started meeting new people because I wanted new friends and I wanted things to change. I wanted people who are cool, who support me and all that type of stuff. So what I then did is I met new people. And if you want to know how I did that and how you can do it too, stick around for a while because I'm going to get to that in a couple of moments. What I want you to understand though is that you need to be very careful with this. I've mentioned this multiple times now, but this is just so important. You cannot just cut out every single person out of your life. It needs to have some certain purpose. Whenever there is an inconvenience or a conflict in your friendship, I want you to ask yourself, can I do something about this conflict? Is it something that I can just simply fix or not? Is it something that is because of some other circumstances? Yes or no? Got to move around a little. Okay, I had to kind of switch places because of the sun, but now you can see me better. And the most important thing you need to ask yourself, is this problem that I am seeing in this friendship something that we together can work on? And you have to ask them even for that. If the answer is no, and they are not willing to work on it, and you don't have the capacity to do it, and things just don't fit anymore, then you have free to leave them. Now, how do you do that? How do you find the courage to leave a person that you've been with for so long? I mean, our ego and our mind might want to think, how can I do this? This is so crazy. I can't have the audacity to tell them I don't want to be friends with them anymore. This is not okay and I need to have some respect there. But bro, that is absolute bullshit. You have free will and you should be able to decide who's in your life and who's not. Let me tell you how to properly tell them that you no longer want them to be in your life and do it. So there are many ways that you can stop talking to a person. You can just simply text them and tell them about it, why you feel that way and why you no longer want to be with them. You could call them up or you could just meet them in person. Those three options are the best ones. I would never recommend just ghosting somebody because ghosting is absolutely shitty. Trust me, you don't want to be ghosted. Ghosting is just so stupid. I mean, what even is this in that generation? People want a reason and they deserve a reason to know as to why you're not friends with them anymore. So when you approach that person through one of these 3 ways I've just mentioned, you need to do it with a lot of respect and gratitude. You can first of all greet them. So first things first, you're going to tell them after thoughtful consideration that you no longer want to be friends with them for the following reasons. Or you can also just start with a reason right away. You can tell them what's been bothering you and why it is better for the both of you that you no longer are in contact now and why you want to cut it off. They need to understand that it also is better for them. And you also, at the end of the day, and that is the most important thing when you're writing that message or you're making that call to say goodbye to them, you need to do it with love and gratitude. Thank them for all the lovely experiences you've had together. I mean, you need to end a friendship in love and gratitude because it's not mature and it's stupid to have bad blood at the end of the day. So they're mad at you or they think you're a shitty person. That is definitely not something that I would recommend. And trust me, they will understand it and be okay with it, even if they're frustrated at first, which also is normal. Make that person feel seen and understood. Make them understand that whatever has happened between you is a great experience. Make them feel just as grateful for everything that happened. Make them feel nice and make them feel okay with you. Make them feel okay with your decision to no longer talk to them. And sometimes people are in our lives for a longer amount of time and sometimes they're in our lives for a shorter amount of time. It's not like every person is meant to be in your life forever. Sometimes our ways just go apart and that is totally normal. So just also be fine with yourself for the fact that you need to just get them out of your life. I once did a stupid decision where I didn't quite think about cutting contact off with someone, but I just did it right away because there was an inconvenience that we were facing. And we could have talked about it, we could have made things better, but I was a little dumb and I just was like, okay, I don't want to talk to you anymore, goodbye. That was kind of a mistake. And what I've learned from this is that it always needs a lot of consideration and you again have to ask yourself, is it something that I'm worth losing because I know I'm gonna get better things, or can we just sort things out and still be friends after all? It's always your decision. So now that you've learned how to properly and respectfully let go of any person, you need to learn how to move on from them. There's always a period after that where you have to move on and just reconnect with yourself. And you have to get yourself to understand that even without them, you're feeling good, you're feeling whole, you are feeling abundant. Some of the things that you might have done with them that you love doing, do them by yourself and realize that doing things by yourself is just as nice as it is doing it with other people. So you can go do a picnic by yourself or you can go to a cafe by yourself. Even if you think that it might be boring alone, trust me, it's not. You just have to discover the art of being alone. And do not rush things. Do not try to find someone else right away. The universe is going to guide the right person to you if you listen and if you do the action for it. Then you also need to emotionally move on. I have an entire video made on how to move on from a friendship or a relationship, even if it's hurtful. This is one of my best videos I've ever made. I really love it. Make sure to check it out. I'm going to link it in the description. And then after you've moved on, it's time to meet new people. It's time to, after all this consideration, after doing all that stuff, blah, 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 you need to really get to a point where you see new people in your life, where you meet people who actually match you, people who love you, people who respect you, and people who you are on a one wavelength with. And now, ladies and gentlemen, you need to master the art of finding and connecting with new people. Remember these principles that I've told you in the beginning? Now look at them again. And look at those who resonate with you and then make your own principles. Literally get your iPad or get a sheet of paper and write down the principles that you want in a friendship or in just general relationships with people. Write it down. What is important for you? Are you someone who's into self-honesty, or are you someone who doesn't care about that? Are you someone who needs high maintenance or low maintenance friendships? Always decide these kind of things for yourself. And then once you've got these principles, you can be on the lookout for new people. You see, through social media, we now live in a world where we believe that we connect with people. By scrolling on TikTok the entire day, I learn literally things that we're connecting with people. We're seeing all of these people. It's almost like we're talking to them. But in fact, we aren't. You need to connect with real people. Get real serotonin, get real oxytocin by connecting. Let me just get some water. The reason why it's so important to determine your own principles is because you need to clear with yourself what your own boundaries and what your own principles are. Because a lot of people, they don't even know what they want. When you ask them about their manifestations or whatever kind of people they want to meet, you're like, okay, what kind of people do you want to meet? And they're like, oh, I don't know. If you don't know what you're gonna try and get, then you're not gonna get anything. So if you want to meet new people, you've got to do it the real way. So you do this, for example, by looking at those things that you casually like. Like, there are many ways to meet people. You can do this in school, you can do this at your Pilates class, yoga class, or just at the gym, or whatever other activities you like doing, because there you right away have a general topic that you connect with people. So for example, if you like going to Pilates, you might be like, oh, I love your aloe set, it looks so beautiful. And then they might answer, oh, I love yours too, you look really cool. And that's just how conversation start. You might start asking questions, you might start asking them real things, and the most important thing with all of this is that you keep it authentic. All of your conversations will just simply flow, and it's going to be so easy to meet new people and talk to them if you understand that it should be authentic. Whenever you point out something that you like about a person, make it real. Don't lie. And a lot of times other people find themselves searching for questions to ask that person to get into a conversation, but I do not believe that this is going to make you successful in the long run when it comes to meeting people and successfully communicating. It's all about being authentic. And once you really care about a person, you're interested in what they do and you want to connect with them, things are just going to go by themselves. You do not have to force anything. So the most important thing when it comes to meeting people, communicating with them, is to not worry. Just shut off all the noise that is in the background and really connect with them. So there's this lovely woman whose teachings I highly appreciate. Her name is Vanessa Van Edwards. And what she talks about essentially is that you need to give people a chemical cocktail. So what you do is you give them dopamine, you give them testosterone, you give them oxytocin, and those are the things that make you feel good. Whenever you left that old person in your life, the ones that we've just spoken about, it usually is because you lacked some certain hormones there. You lacked a sense of connection, which is oxytocin. You lacked a sense of fun, which was dopamine and all these other hormones. Now the same rule applies to meeting new people. If you want to meet them, you need to give them a chemical cocktail again, but now the real way. So the things that you did not receive in that friendship, make sure you give it to another person, because then you can also receive it. Friendships are all about giving and receiving at the same time. It's an energetical exchange that happens there. And when you're meeting someone like at the gym or any other place that you like, make sure that first impressions really count. Your first impression does not start once you start talking, but it's the moment that you see them. If you greet them with a smiling face, if you greet them with love and you are happy to meet them and you just tell them, oh, I'm so happy to see you again, they automatically switch and they automatically are happy to see you too. And the most important thing when it comes to meeting new people is understanding the following thing I'm now about to tell you. You need to understand that people care for you, and that is something that usually is the reason why oftentimes friendships and relationships fail. People usually feel unseen, or they feel not cared for. They just feel like they are not appreciated. And oftentimes that is also something that they bring into new relationships. So in their past relationships and friendships, they have learned that maybe it's not the right thing to do. People don't like me. People don't listen to me. They are not appreciative of me. I don't feel good. I don't feel appreciated around people. And then that is something that is engraved in their subconscious mind. But now what you need to do is you need to look at that old programming and release it. You need to rewire your subconscious mind that believes that you are not cared for and that people don't give a shit about you. So as you're starting a new conversation, don't think that it is selfish to talk about yourself. Talk about yourself. Share your lovely experiences. Share some advice. Share some nice things that you've done all throughout the years. Share all the lovely things that you would like this person to know about you. Just make sure to know that they do care about you. And believing that someone does not care about you is really dumb, because if you think so, then you're not ever going to meet someone. It's important to, again, as I've previously mentioned, have an exchange there. So you tell them about yourself, they tell you about themselves. You answer to the things about themselves, they answer to the things about yourself. It's like a ping pong, ping pong, ping pong. Like I've had some friendships, it was especially male friendships, where it just didn't feel like they cared about me. I just thought they don't give a shit about me. They never asked questions, they never cared for me. But that was just because I had friends who were those kind of people. They were people who didn't care about me. They were not good people. In a sense, it was almost toxic, I could say. But now that I'm meeting new people, that they do care about me. Like I used to think in general that people don't give a shit about me. I can tell them about myself and they're not going to care. So I should just shut my mouth and not talk about my own experiences, when in fact, talking about your own experiences is the most powerful thing you can do to meet new people and make new meaningful connections and therefore new friends after letting go of the old ones that don't serve you. In those moments where your caveman, cavewoman instincts want to play safe, that is exactly when you should talk about yourself. You should incorporate your own experiences and people will care. They will automatically love it. And if you're afraid that they might not care about you and you are not someone who's going to be heard and felt seen over there in that new friendship and new connection you might be about to make, you need to understand that if they do not care about you. If that was the case, and let me tell you, it's probably not, they would just tell you about it. Like whenever you don't care about something, you just leave. You don't care about it. You would just simply tell that person, you listen, this isn't really my topic. I don't know much about this. I don't care about it. I don't care about what you are saying. It might sound harsh, but mostly I do that. I'm not a people pleaser anymore. And therefore, the worst case scenario that could happen if you approach someone, if you meet new people at the gym or at your Pilates class or whatever other place you're going, is that they simply don't match. Like you just have to see, are we a match? Are we not a match? Usually your energies either vibrate at one frequency and you just see, oh goodness, we feel so good when we're by another. We get that chemical cocktail from one another. That is just such a lovely feeling. However, if you don't match and your intuition and all of your body just says, this person isn't for me, we don't feel good, then that's okay. Like literally the worst thing that could happen is you will end up where you were before. So there is nothing to lose when it comes to meeting new people, especially if you understand that the true power lies within understanding that people care for you and you are someone who is to be cared for. Like lately, I've been meeting a lot lot of new people. I was at the gym recently and there was this friend group of guys, and they've always been there and I've always been a little interested in them, but I was always afraid to approach them. I thought, what if they don't care about me? What if we're not gonna work out? What if this isn't gonna be a good friendship or whatever? But you know what I did? I just got there and I just acted as if I'm part of them already. I just acted as if they care about me and as if I care about them, and guess what happened? That's exactly what happened. Like, I just started talking to them. I asked them cool questions that I care about, and then we actually met and we started talking so much. Then we even went outside together. We had such lovely experiences, and soon I'm gonna meet them again because I know that I know how to talk to them and I know how to actually build good connections. And I'm so thankful to be able to have learned these things and now be able to have shared them with you. So all of this to say, when someone leaves your life or you make them leave your life, it actually is a blessing in disguise. Even if it might be painful at first and you have to move on and it takes some time, it is still a blessing because they make space for new people to come into your life, and therefore you can focus on new lovely people who match your frequency, who bring the best out of you. Whenever you get to a new friendship or even your current friendships, ask yourself, am I bringing the best version out of this person, and are they bringing the best out of me as well? If the answer is yes, then congratulations, you have a healthy, lovely friendship that is going to last you years. So if you ever find yourself being afraid of saying farewell to a person that no longer should be in your life, or you find yourself being afraid of talking to a new person to meet new valuable friendships, then let it be your sign that you should do it, and you should face that fear and do it anyway. Because let me tell you one thing, after that you're going to be so much happier, and then if you look back 1 year later, you will be so incredibly grateful for making that hard decision, and you can literally just look at yourself, look at your inner child, and just be like, good job. It would mean the world to me if you could follow me on Instagram. I share a lot of valuable insights on there with aesthetic inspiration and my wisdom. It's just my job to help as many people as possible in this generation. I love you all so much. I'm incredibly grateful for all the growth and everything you've given me all throughout these years. I love you all. See you in my next video. Goodbye.